After putting on the dust-proof clothes and headgear and gloves, we need to walk through this disinfectant-containing bleach to enter the food processing factory to view their operations. Only 60% of a good potato can be used, as the rest are scraps.
This year we will have more than 200 tons of food scraps.
Ingredients are carefully inspected for bad color, shape, or smell, which are important in attracting customers. This worker pours in a large amount of cream and stirs it evenly. At this time, the potato chips become thick and creamy. The pieces were arranged in a flower shape, then fed into a 220-degree oven. After 15 minutes, the food to be cooked in a microwave is finished. These golden cream potato chips are now packaged together. The appearance, fragrance, and flavor are all perfect, but before these processed foods are brought by consumers, airborne bacteria may adhere to them and begin to breed. These ingredients must be put into this freezer, which operates at minus 45 degrees. After a few seconds, it feels so cold he can't stand it. This very low temperature freezing process requires the company to pay a high electricity bill. But if it is not done, whether it is processed food, vegetables, fruits, and meat, it will be corrupted during transportation and endanger food safety.
In Vietnam, actually the frozen food industry is held to relatively high standards. This is because supply chain for cold food is relatively underdeveloped. This has been found to be the cause behind common food contamination in Vietnam.
Vietnam's cold storage logistics industry is relatively backward. In recent years, foreign companies have entered this market and transferred technology. No matter if it is food to be cooked in microwaves, this food needs to be prepared at normal room temperatures. A bakery with more than 120 workers all have to wear protective clothing throughout the entire process to avoid contamination of the ingredients.
If you are a foreign company that violates the law, the government will fine you, and you have a limited amount of time to make improvements.
Foreign food factories are strictly regulated by Vietnamese authorities, but small local food factories in urban and rural areas mostly lack such cold supply chain equipment that the local government is simply unable to check them one by one.
Vietnam also has problems with unregulated and unscrupulous food producers.
How to make ingredients non-perishable depends on the logistics chain, but most livestock farmers and others in Vietnam do not have such technology. Therefore, they use the traditional methods passed down by their predecessors. Mainly, they use boats or other land transportation to cut down on delivery times. Here's the Tai Rang floating market in Vietnam. You can see that the transportation of people, as well as fruits and vegetables, is done by boat. As long as two boats approach each other, business can be done directly here on the river.
The Vietnamese will have a large boat delivered to a smaller boat, or a smaller boat going directly. The most important thing is the ability to quickly transport products to the market for sale.
I picked up the fruit from the previous afternoon and shipped it to the floating market at 3 a.m. today. The Tai Rang floating market is the largest trading market in the Mekong Delta. From 100 years ago, Vietnamese ancestors used water transport to preserve meat and fruits.
When it comes to harvesting, they will pay great attention to the transport time of their food because the Vietnamese do not eat food left out overnight, so they pay lots of attention when they harvest food.
The fresher the ingredients, the better the food and the less amount of bacteria. Today, better supply chain technology regarding chilled foods shared by advanced countries with developing countries. This, however, could make it possible for contaminated food to cross international borders and part of our diet.